And we are live, Newsday Tuesday. I'm your host, Go Rome, the Rome Show podcast. News updates from my friend Len. Len, how you doing today?
Doing great. Good morning. Good morning. Let me get the shot here a little bit more set. All right, there we go. Well,
Nice
this is
view.
different. Yeah, I'm sitting on the Adirondack chairs in the front of my house. We figured we'd try something different today. I'm on a staycation this week, so I had a little extra time to let's get that together nice here. There we go. That's podcasting, right? We can be informal.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, got to get that American flag in there, right? Go USA.
Right. And you
Okay.
got some shade. You got some shade to keep you cool.
Made in the shade, my friend. Yeah. This time of the year. My gosh, was it humid or what yesterday?
Very.
hmm Um, I don't know about you. My basement is first world problems, of course, but my basement is so hot. How hot is it? It's like 82 degrees. It's never this hot.
Wow. It's weird
You
because
get
my basement be cool when it's hot outside.
normally mine is, and that's I think what happens is you can't get the heat out of the house, Um, and that's what I'm dealing with. And I mean, look at me. I'm sitting here with a flannel shirt on, but I don't know. I assume you're at your home base in Connecticut, but here it's 66 degrees right now. It's beautiful, absolutely
Perfect
beautiful,
weather.
but cool. But not bad. I mean, cool for non-Yankees. For us, this is great. This is great.
The perfect weather.
Mm. Rome, I wish you were here to enjoy it and have a cup of coffee with me, brother. It is, look, it's a staycation. Sure, I'd rather be traveling with Mrs. B, but you know, for me, just taking some time off is really important because what we do is very stressful in the news business, and you need self-care. You need to take the time off. And I listened to one of my photographers who said, why don't you take the time off while the weather's nice? Like why? Like just work when it's November 17th and it's 43 degrees and raining outside, right? Even if I got to work outside, I might as well just be working and moving, right? Not
Right.
trying to vacation. Now my buddy, I used to work at Channel 3 for a long time. He and I stay up, and he of course turned that on its head, and he said, "Yeah, but I'll go on vacation in California in December because he's got all these, you know, relatives out that way." Okay, well, that's a way to go on vacation with nice weather when it's bad here. Um, but I want to hear what you have to say, but like, I'm really trying to maximize the nice weather because it just feels like our good weather season keeps getting shorter and shorter.
Yeah. It feels like summer is about to be over. But like this Saturday, I took the whole day off, go to the beach, enjoy the weather, and take a day off from work. It's important.
It really helps your brain. It really does. And I will give you my true confession here. I've been a television reporter for decades, and it is very hard to turn it off. And I would argue that only in the last quarter of my career have I been able to turn it off. Like you come home and your head's just going and going and going. And like, if you're really committed to this job, okay, you're not doing it for the money, all right? And you're doing it to help people. And if you want to save the world, you never can, right? Because there's just so many problems and there's so many people that need help. And you just feel like every day you're triaging. And you are. And so it's a stressful job, but I love it. And it's really important. And you need to have self-care, just like you, Rome, because people depend on you to be entertained and to show them new things and to think about different ways of living your life. And you've got to pace yourself. And, if there's any advice I can give you, It sounds like you do it. You took a Saturday off. Good for you, because I know you're busting your hump trying to get everything going with all the different, you know, uh, things you're working on right
Yeah, it's crazy. Like yesterday I worked, I came home and I turned it off.
now. Good
Went
for
to sleep a
you.
little earlier, so I feel resetted now.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's hard. It's just hard because you want to help people, and people, you know, with the cell phones now, there's really no boundaries. And so I get calls and emails and stuff all times of the day and night. And I welcome it. I'm not saying I don't want that, but, you know, it's hard when you're trying to shut things off a little bit. Um, but you have to. And you know, I got to say, as much as you feel badly when you tell people that um, you gotta just shut the phone off. Sorry, I was just waving to a jogger. They understand. They do understand. They want you to be your best, and I gotta say, it's been really nice. I'll admit it. You know, I'm getting up there in seniority in this market, but it's really nice when viewers and readers and listeners, we have all those at NBC Connecticut. They say, please keep working. We really enjoy what you do, and what you do is important. You know, that's what keeps me going. And I know it's important. You know, we have all these problems now where the news business has been pretty beat up, and a lot of it, the wounds are self-inflicted. News hasn't adapted and changed, and anyone in the business who's being honest will admit that. But we are changing now. Just being on this program, I think, is part of it. You know, you've got to recognize that there's an electronic universe out there, and it's not all just written anymore. That's just not the way it works. And as soon as you recognize that, you can do really good things like you're doing. Anyway, enough of my speechifying on this Staycation Tuesday.
But yeah, I've been watching a lot of like news anchors, reporters and stuff, and I'm watching them adapt. I know it's probably kind of difficult, but it's like you guys are always working.
Hmm. Well, you know, one of the things I love about your program is you'll interview a lot of people like me. I mean, I'm on regularly, and I'm very thankful for that. I have a really good time doing this with you. But I think it's awesome that you're talking with other reporters, not just at NBC Connecticut, but I know you talk with other ones in the market, and I think that's great. We all have a role in terms of getting people more news and higher quality news, and uh, just talking about it in different formats. That's the big challenge right now. Not to get too technical into our business, but I've gotten really good feedback from viewers in terms of NBC Connecticut, and you know, the other stations too are working at, you know, having more of a digital presence. And it really has not necessarily made us money. That's not what this is all about. Certainly we need to, but just in terms of really being more accessible to viewers, because, you know, they can comment on social media, and if the comments are polite and constructive, yes, I will respond. You're going to be a crank yanker, I'm coming after you. I could be a cranky old reporter like the rest of them. But if you want to have a constructive conversation, let's go. That's really what the purpose of local TV news is to try to get people engaged in their community, talking about their community. We are not the influencer of change, we are the catalyst of change, and there is a difference.
Yeah, I understand like the cranky or like the uppity news people because even me, I people say some crazy disrespectful things. So I can only imagine what they're being told. So you gotta kind of like, you know, be careful what you go around.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm going to engage with everybody, but if you're going to be abusive or impolite or make bigoted or racist comments, we're done.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, we're all grown-ups here. I hope.
Right. Good topic. That was a good topic. So much
Yeah,
news going on now.
Rome. It's crazy. It's okay. Um, I see a lot of really good things with the younger reporters now. They're embracing all the digital formats. And more than that, they're maximizing the technology that they can use to get more news out there. And I do not mean AI. I'm talking about just automation in terms of, you can do what's called multi-platforming, where you might do a longer form story on YouTube and then a mid-size one for broadcast. And then, if I do a vertical video, it might only be 30 seconds. And that way you're accessing different viewers that want different things. Like I could do the same story. Somebody may just want a 30-second update. Somebody may want a 3 or 4 minute quick dive. And then somebody else might want a 25-minute deep dive. So you have to be there for everybody, I think. And then you got to put it in writing too. You got to put a web story up on your website. I think you want to go a step further. And, we haven't really reached this yet. In my opinion, it's something that we need to do is have a even longer form writing style on Substack. You've probably heard of that, right?
Yeah.
Um, there's other ones as well. I'm not doing an ad for Substack. And then even you want to go a step further than that, if it's a very compelling topic, like, NBC Connecticut Investigates has done this big story about this youth psychiatric facility in Middletown that they've got all these staffing issues. You could do a Facebook Live and talk with people, like, and literally do a live chat. These things take personnel, they take time, they take tech, and we're slowly rolling out more and more of this. And it's an exciting time. It's an exhausting time to be a journalist right now. With all the news and our business is changing at the same time. Um, I'm glad I'm here, but I'm not gonna beat around the bush. It's hard work.
So much work.
Hmm. Important work, though, Rome.
Yeah. It's worth it.
Yeah, but not complaining. Not complaining. I'm lucky to be here, and I'm lucky to be able to do this job. But let's talk about the fun stuff. Come on.
Yeah. I'll start off with TV show. Marry My Husband. I'm just about done.
I feel like I've heard about this. It's not from you because you've been talking about The Rookie, and there was some other show you were watching last time we talked about. So how is this show, Meeting My Husband? Network or is this streaming?
It's on Prime. Yeah, it's called Marry My Husband, and it's really good. Every episode you watch, you're gonna want to watch the next one.
Okay, we got Prime. Mrs. B and I'll check that out.
Yeah, it's the Korean show. It's great.
It's Korean. Okay.
Yeah,
I used to watch a lot of foreign films. Especially I do actually not used to every January because I'm in the Screen Actors Guild and Television Anchor and Reporter Union. I get films and I vote every year, like around January, for what are called the SAG Awards, which is Screen Actors Guild. And they're sort of like the beginning of the award season. A lot of people say whoever wins that, that's sort of foreshadowing the Oscars. So I get to watch all these foreign films. Although I didn't watch that one Korean one that was really gross and scary. What was that called? The something game, the Squid Game or something?
oh yeah, that was a good one too.
I'll get around to it. But everybody told me it was a little gross or scary or something. I'm fine with that. But yeah, so foreign TV show. Mrs. B and I watch a lot of those British ones, a lot of those crime dramas. There's something with them that I used to like some of the USA ones, but the older ones. Like there's one I think I've told you about. It's based in Baltimore. There's two different versions. One's called Homicide: Life on the Street, and that's like 30 years old now, maybe even 40. And then there's another one called The Wire. Uh, that were real gritty, good crime dramas. But generally, I've enjoyed some of the ones from the UK. Like there's oh, such a good one. We've watched some of it. Slow Horses. I think I talked with you about that one. But it
Yeah.
was really only season 1 and 2, and then it sort of trailed off. Let me ask you this. I'm finding with a lot of these streaming shows that like the first season or two is great, and then it just goes, and there you just feel like they're trying to keep it going. And even a lot of broadcast series, like remember what was the one with the smoke monster?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name though.
Yeah, the one where the
Um,
plane landed and they were on the island. Well, whatever. But like that series went on way too long. And some people have even said Seinfeld probably went a season or two too long. And I just wish that shows would have the courage to cut it off. Like a good example right now, and this is probably controversial, but Ted Lasso. I'm I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it should keep going. The other soccer-based show is Wrexham, which is the story about these very wealthy Hollywood actors who bought a team in a really poor part of England, and now the team has gone whoop, but now there's a backlash because everybody's like it's a Hollywood team and they just dump money into it. Like how everybody can't stand the Dodgers in baseball in our country because all they do is spend money. And that kind of things happen. But I almost like Wrexham, since it's reality, I think that I'm okay watching that continue. But like, I just feel like Ted Lasso, they're almost like inventing stuff now. But we'll see. We'll give it a shot. We'll give it a shot. So we went way off, but for my TV, did I put it in here? Yeah. So our original conversation was about this digital age we're in and how it's changing our viewing habits. And so for me, this time of the year, I'm very excited about the New York Giants because the football season's about to begin, and they're in training camp right now. Normally, that's like a black hole. You can't. They really don't want people seeing the plays they're working on and this and that. But what's happened now with this democratization of the media where you don't have to be CBS or ESPN to go to the training camp, watch it, and then be on a show like this. And just, you don't even have to have video or photos. You can just say, yeah, I saw Jackson Dart. He completed 10 passes, he threw 3 interceptions, and I'm watching. And
mhm.
so there's like a half dozen people that do this now. They could just be people like you and me. What they're also doing is a lot of the print publications. Again, we talked about, they have to change, right? So the New York Post, which we all know is a tabloid paper, it has an outstanding sports section. A lot of people don't know that. And they follow the New York Giants very closely. So the two beat writers, Brandon London and Paul Schwartz, they were down in West Virginia at their training camp doing these podcasts every day. I think they're still doing them this week. I haven't seen yesterday's, but it's great viewing if that's what you're interested in. And so that's what I've been watching. And I'm very up on my Giants, which is good.
Yeah, I know that was interesting.
We're still bad, but that's okay.
Yeah. My food dish of the week is I call it dirty rice.
Ooh, great choice.
Yeah, love it. Could pretty much put anything in it.
Did you make it or did you buy it?
Made it.
Look at you.
Yeah, very good.
First time I had dirty rice, it's a big New Orleans thing, was at a Bojangles, which is a New Orleans themed fast food restaurant when I was living down in Southern Virginia. Um, Everybody was so excited when the Bojangles came to Rocky Mount, Virginia, which was 30 minutes from the station, but we would drive there to go get that dirty rice.
Yeah, so good.
Do you put a protein with it or you just have it straight up?
I'll do ground beef.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Some corn.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Fish. You can have it as a side dish. It's nice with fish because I know you like the fish, so
Oh yeah.
you should
Yeah,
try
I
that.
do that too. Pretty good.
Good man. Yeah. Dirty rice. All right, I got one that's totally out in left field today, and it's so good. So, our older daughter told us about this outstanding restaurant in Manchester. It's all the way out, like near Bolton, very, very east Manchester. And um, we went there and we're like, this is great. We thought it was Mexican, right? Very original dishes and all that. We've gone one or two times. Then we went back after we golfed on Sunday, and um, oh my gosh, it was so good again. And I had these things that my daughter told, our older daughter told us about called pupusas. Have you ever had a pupusa?
I never heard of that.
Same here. And there are different flavors. You can get meat ones, you can get bean ones, you can get chicken, whatever. And they're just like, it looks like a pancake. And you just get different toppings and sauces on. I just got three of them, filled me up. Fantastic. So pupusas, they're like floury, but then, all kinds of flavor. Like, and what I learned is it's not a Mexican restaurant, it's Central American,
Oh,
Honduras. Yeah. Because the chef came out, because the lady at the counter, her English was not great. It was fine for me. I understood her, but she was very self-conscious about it. And I tried speaking Spanish with her. My Spanish is decent, but she didn't want to engage. I guess she was embarrassed or whatever. So the chef came out and we started chatting him up. And he explained to us that no, it's not Mexican. They have Mexican Coca-Cola. We've talked about that, right? What with
yeah.
sugar? I got one of those. Um, but so good. But he explained to us pupusas and all these different, Lindsay, Mrs. B, she got a like a burrito kind of thing, but it was very different looking than the burrito you're used to, the big honking Mexican burrito. This was different. It was just looked different, but it's so good. And like the sauces are different. Um, Highly recommend it. So I'll tell you, normally I wouldn't do a plug, but it's called Moron. M, I know it sounds like moron, but it's not. It's Moran, Moran. And it's all the way on the eastern end of Manchester. And wow, wow. No liquor license. It's one of those kind of places where they're cooking for the love of cooking, right?
Yeah.
But there's a liquor store next door if you want to get beer. But I mean, uh, just outstanding. So pupusas.
I gotta
How's
try it.
that for a new one, Rome?
Yeah, that's brand new.
Mm.
I gotta try that.
Yes, you do, my friend. Yes, you do.
Next we got sports. I don't have a team, but I seen that the Boston College fires longtime basketball radio broadcasters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wonder what that's all about. We're just broadcasters. We're just doing our thing.
they've been broadcasting there for over 9 years, and they were dismissed by a coaching change.
You know, you do get some announcers that will be critical. And I have seen some teams will blow back against that. They don't like it. Uh, but the truth is, it's healthy. As much as like my New York Giants, we get beat up by everybody, and we deserve it. We're not that good. Hopefully, we'll get good someday. But I want to hear that criticism. If I'm listening to a game, whether it's UConn basketball, whether it's the New York Giants, whether it's the Boston Red Sox, I want to hear the critique. I want to. That's what I rely on the analysts for. But hopefully, it's not one of those situations. I got a friend who's way up the food chain at Boston College. Next time I talk with him, I'll ask him about that.
Yeah, then we can circle back, see what happens.
Hmm. On my sports end, shockingly, not shockingly, it's golf. I am golfing like a fiend right now. Not gonna lie. We have our big tournament coming up August 14th. Got to do a little plug. Sorry, Rome. So for 15 years, I've been affiliated with the Children's Associated Summer Theater of Manchester. It's a 501c3, and this golf tournament raises money for various things for this organization. So it's a children's summer theater in Manchester. Some of the kids can't afford the tuition, so the fundraising helps for that. The theater is in a older building, and so there's always problems with the heating or the roof or the air conditioning, or the seating inside is sort of old. They've updated it now, and they have a newer theater inside. So there's always stuff, right? Um, and so it's been a great fundraiser for years. The folks at Twin Hills Golf Course in Coventry are so kind in letting us use their course for the day. So this is Friday, August 14th. Check this though. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, 18 holes, cart, $99.
Can't beat
That's
that.
redonkulous, as we say in Connecticut. That is really cheap. I am the celebrity host, not because of good golfing, but because of loyalty. And it's such a fun tournament. All kinds of contests, closest to the pin, straightest shot, longest drive. We got this really cool thing, Rome. When we get you started on golfing, you're gonna love this. They got a gun. It's technically it's not a gun. It's a cannon. It's like 6 feet long, and you shoot a golf ball out of it, and it goes like 200 yards, and it's on the second hole. You got to pay $20 to use it. It's a fundraiser, but 9 times out of 10, the ball will land right on the green. And of course, then you're green in regulation, as it's called in golf, and you're on the green in one stroke, and all you got to do is putt it in. It's a par four, so it's an easy hole to get a birdie on if you two putt it in. So lots of fun,
Yeah, that sounds
lots
fun.
of fun. So August 14th, it's a Friday, 9 a.m. Come join us. There's still spots available.
Nice. It's a perfect time to start too. 9 o'clock.
Hmm. Hmm.
So we
So I
got
guess
so
I got
much
to do the
news.
news, Bro. What's
Yeah,
that?
we
Yeah,
got
I know.
a lot of
You got a
news.
busy day. I'm not working. You are, my friend. Dude, we got a lot of news here. I got a nice mix today, though. I think the last few newscasts, it's been a little bit dour and dire. I got one hard news story, actually, too, but then we end nice. So, big news, Rome, are the blowback. Let's start that again. Let's use proper English. The big news right now, Rome, is the blowback on these surveillance cameras. A lot of people for years have looked at the importance of them in terms of catching criminals, but between the license plate readers all across towns, the ones you're seeing now at stores, I won't mention which ones, people are starting to feel a little bit like I'm getting surveilled all the time, like this is a police state. I don't know that that's the case. I think that the police have some good arguments for having these, but at the end of the day, it's where these people live, and it's a majority rule, and it's what they decide. And so there was a standing room only crowd last night in Milford, down on the shoreline in Connecticut, where residents were really ticked off about these flock license plate reader cameras. Many people saying that the surveillance technology should be removed. The debate has grown in several towns in recent weeks, like I was saying. Just so last month, Windsor voted to end the contract. It's just right across the river from where I am here. And then Cheshire, down just a little bit west of here, is going to be holding a public meeting tomorrow. So this week, or no, today. So we're recording on a Tuesday. So there's a meeting this week in Cheshire. There was one in Milford. And then Killingworth, down on the shoreline, and Old Saybrook have also made similar moves to take a look at this. What do you think of this whole thing, Ron?
I think it's a safe thing. In case something happens, then they have, evidence to track it. But I don't think it's too much unless they're like the cameras are following you home and all that extra stuff. But I think it's a safe thing.
You know, that is how it's presented, and I will make this challenge to our viewers. If you have cases where you think you have been spied upon with these, let me know. Because just like we were talking about in the beginning of this podcast, our purpose at NBC Connecticut is to have conversations about these things. And if I don't know about it, I can't talk about it. I'm not just going to come on here and BS about something I don't know about. But if people are telling me these flock cameras are spying on me and here I got proof, okay, let's talk about it. Other news, my friend. Thankfully, we're not going to see the smoky skies from this one, but your heart goes out to these people in Spokane, Washington, that are dealing. If you've seen any of this video, it's horrific. Homes just torching. Like imagine you spent your whole life trying to build up a house and make it a place for your family to gather and live and have your kids raised and all that stuff. Just goes up in smoke, just like that. There's just been some horrible fires out in Spokane because it's so dry out there. And check this 37-year-old guy with previous manslaughter charges, conviction, excuse me, was arrested in connection with setting the largest of the three wildfires out there in Spokane. Thousands of people have been displaced. Hundreds of structures have been destroyed, and somebody actually set this fire. The guy's name's Aaron Farinacci. He was taken into custody without incident with the help of a SWAT team after a judge signed a warrant. Yes, we're picking up trash in my neighborhood. You might hear
Mhm.
that. But in all seriousness, they picked this guy up with a SWAT team. Uh, what the article goes on to say, the press article is that he had shown, allegedly, according to neighbors, tendencies. I don't know what that means to set fires, but I'm sure a lot more of that will come out. Apparently, he literally took a butane lighter. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Yeah, crazy.
You know, in my career, Rome, I've covered a lot of these, what are called firebugs, and it's a sickness.
Yeah, that's
The
crazy.
firebugs themselves, a lot of times, are people who will set a fire and then come to put it out. It's very bizarre, and there's other derivations of it. I'm sure that our firefighting friends can tell us about that they have to deal with, and they don't like it, certainly. So that's a tough one. So let's end with something happy, okay? I
Okay.
got something good. Former standout on the UConn women's basketball team is coming home. Do you remember Nikisha Sales? How can you not remember that name? That is a household name in Connecticut. She was on one of the original UConn women's teams that won the national championship. Um, she's coming back, of course, to coach. She can't play anymore. She is going to be an assistant coach. And check this, she's from Bloomfield, right here, right here, right here in our neck of the woods. How cool is that? She helped lead UConn to its first NCAA championship
Hmm.
in 1995. So that's 31 years ago. During her 4 seasons with the Huskies, the program reached 2 Final Fours and 8 Big East titles. How does she do 8 in 4 years? I guess that's the championship tournament and plus the regular season standings. But how about that? You know, it's always nice to see somebody come back in the fold like that. I'm sure it just means more great things for the UConn women. Let's hope so. What a great program that's been, and what a pleasure to watch both the men's and the women's. Just great basketball. But kudos to the women. You got a new coach, and you got somebody from the family. How cool is that, Rome?
Yeah, they're in good hands now. Not that they
Oh
weren't
yeah,
before, but they continue to
yeah,
be in good hands.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if Nikisha Sales is going to be the next head coach. I'm not saying that, but yeah, yeah, it's a cool story.
Good one.
Well, Rome, you can see my grass looks a little green right now. I don't need to cut it, but I do need to get to my staycation yard work and other things. Um, but it's been a pleasure, visiting as always, and I'll see you next Tuesday, right?
Absolutely. See you next Tuesday.
All right, man. Good
All
seeing
right.
you. It was
Thank you, my
fun
friend.
doing one in the front yard here.
Nice, great view. Appreciate it,
All
man.
right, man. We'll see you
All right.
soon. Take care,
Take
room.
care. And that is it for this week's news updates with my friend Len Besthoff from MEC Connecticut every Tuesday. I'm your host, Go Rome on the Rome Show podcast. And don't forget to click that subscribe button, YouTube, follow me on Spotify, and stay updated 24/7 no matter where you are. Watch and stream 24/7, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you watch or stream podcasts. I'm your host, Go Rome, and I'm out. Thank you. Peace.